Hi, my name is Tola Alabi, and I am a brand consultant and a thought leader. I run a company called Tola Alabi Consulting, and I live in Abuja, Nigeria. And today I'm going to be talking about vision, and it's going to be in three parts. I'll be talking about the plan, the process, and the product. And I'm going to be giving you like a brief background of my journey in design and how I got to where I am right now at the moment. Now, I got into design about 17 years ago, and I got into design by watching a friend of mine designing for the first time, and I realized that's what I wanted to do. And I will tell you the plan when I started design. The plan then was to be the greatest Nigerian designer ever, to be the greatest designer to come out of Africa and to work on a global scale. I had a plan to do design like nobody had ever done it before. So starting design, I already had the mindset of following the people that I thought were the design leaders at the time. And I watched what they were doing to try to emulate what they were doing to the smallest detail, because that is where I wanted to be. I wanted to be on the cover of Time magazine. I wanted to be interviewed on CNN. I wanted to have articles in newspapers. I wanted to do design like nobody, at least in Nigeria, had ever done it before. That was the plan, starting design. It was never a thing that I started and I thought of as, let me just do this thing as a hobby, or let me just do this thing and just be average. I always had a grand plan. My vision of the end was grand going into design. So I always pushed myself from the beginning. I pushed myself to the limit. I worked about 13 hours every single day doing design. Every day. Every single day. There was no Monday, there were no weekends. I worked on Sunday. I worked every single day. Some days I worked for a few hours, but some days I worked at length, even to the point where the people I lived in the house with did not even know I was at home most of the time. That's how dedicated I was to being on top of the design game. And that became my process. The process became about putting in the work to arrive at that plan of being one of the greatest graphic designers to come out of Nigeria. I already envisioned myself winning awards and just being the poster boy of design in Nigeria. That was the desire I had going into it. And to be honest with you, that hunger and that desire really helped me to hone my skills. I developed my skills because I was never satisfied with what I did. I always compared it not to what I was seeing around me in Nigeria, but to what I was seeing internationally. And because I was comparing myself to people that were experts, it forced me to push my work to a point where my work really became very good. At least in Nigeria, on Nigerian standard, my work became really, really good. And I started to have a lot of designers feature me, especially on their website, on their blogs and things. I got quite a lot of attention in the industry when I started out, because to be honest, my work was pretty good. And I, at that time, I'd just come back from Canada, where I went to study computer interactive multimedia. Now, before that, I had studied architecture. And once I found graphic design, I knew that's what I wanted to do with the rest of my life, not architecture. So I went for a postgraduate in computer interactive multimedia. I finished top of my class. And this was just from the hunger to become somebody in the graphic design industry, to fulfill that plan of being one of the greatest designers out there. Now, while I was going through the process of working every day, putting in the work and just making sure that my work was better than everybody around me, I realized that something started to happen within me. And that is when I started to envision the product I was turning into. And the product was a very insecure product, to be honest with you. Because I was so tunnel vision about being the guy on top, I became very, very insecure about people around me that were doing well. So it became highly competitive for me. It became very competitive for me that I didn't want to see other people do well because I thought they were going to take my spot. They were going to take my plan away from me, from being the number one graphic designer in Nigeria. And I remember then on Facebook, I would go to some people's page and I would look at their work and I'll be like, man, I don't like this guy's work. Not because his work is not good, but because I thought this guy's work is almost better than mine, if not better than mine. And if his work is better than mine, then there's no way that plan of being the number one would ever come to pass. And I realized that it was a huge burden for me. And that's when I really had to think and say, is this how I really want to live my life? In constant competition with people in the design industry and constantly being insecure about what I am doing and how I am doing it, and not wishing other people well in the industry. And something happened within that period. And what happened was the fact that a friend of mine came up to me and told me he wanted to do a logo competition. Not a logo competition. He wanted to go on a logo exercise, and he will get to design logos consistently for about 30 days. He was going to design for 30 days straight. And he asked whether I wanted to join in the exercise. And I told him I was going to be busy. I'm going to be too busy to join in the exercise, and I would help him promote it. So I helped him to promote it on my Instagram page, and I was shocked by the amount of people that wanted to join him on this exercise. And we started that exercise, and the exercise was called Logo Match. And we had over about 100 designers, if not over 100 designers, sign up for Logo Match on this exercise. And I can say this exercise really changed my life, because while we were going through this exercise, I was looking at people's work and critiquing their work, and I realized that I was actually in a place where I was actually helping designers, which was something I'd never done before. Throughout the time, I'd always been in the place of helping myself and promoting my work. But Logo Match was an opportunity for me to really help designers improve their skill. And I felt better about being a designer for the first time in a long time. That was the first time I was doing design without being competitive, without thinking of what I was going to gain out of it. And after Logo Match, after the 30 days, a lot of designers wrote back to me and said, thank you very much. You've really helped me. You've really helped me on my journey. You've really helped me to improve my skill. And I got a feeling of fulfillment. And that's when I had to change my plan. That's when the plan and the vision changed. I remember going back to the place where I wrote my vision, and I said I wanted to be the greatest designer out of Nigeria, be on the cover of Time magazine. And I struck out all those things. And I said, you know what I want to do? I want to influence people. I want to influence people and help people to be better designers. And then the plan had to change. The plan changed because the vision changed. The vision became, I want to be a source of encouragement to people in Nigeria. I want to be a source of motivation to designers. I want people to be able to say, I'm a better designer because of this content or this thing or the advice that Tola Alabi gave me. And then there had to be a different process. And then I started thinking about the process, and I got talking with my wife, and she talked about starting a YouTube channel then. And I was quite insecure about starting a YouTube channel because it was something I'd never done before. I was never comfortable in front of the camera, so I resisted it for a while. But finally, I got to start doing it. And I put out the first video on my YouTube channel called Pro Masterclass. And I got massive feedback from people telling them about how that video had helped them. Because the first video I did was a video to tell people how to earn more as logo designers. And I got a lot of feedback from that first video. And people were like, thank you for putting out this video. It has really helped me. And I got really inspired by the fact that I was doing something for other people. And that became the process. The process became less and less about showing off my work, less and less about trying to get attention to my work and win awards and get interviewed and be on cover of magazines and be on TV. It became more about helping people. And the process now became about how can I make more content to help more people. And then I committed more to my YouTube channel, which I have been doing now for the past 3 years. And it's dedicated to helping designers and just helping business people and help people generally to live a more fulfilling life. And that's the product I've become now. The product I've become now is less self-absorbed, less thinking about how to be the greatest, but how to get people to be the greatest they can be. And so my product right now is very much focused on creating content that consistently helps people and consistently puts the attention on other designers to be better at what they do. And that in the long and short of it is my journey. And how it has evolved from what it used to be, which was very self-centered, to what it is right now, to living more for people and giving more to people.